What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. I'm going to break down what's going on with the economic calendar moving forward, talk about big factors for the markets, what you should be watching for as time goes on. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $25,000 more, and you're guaranteed 75. The offer ends in just about 3 weeks from now. Anyways, now let's talk about the market. So I just want to mention to everyone that so far Tesla is doing a good job at holding up. It's holding above its 20 EMA. In order for us to remain bullish, we have to see if this could continue to hold. Now, I think that there's a good chance we will eventually try to push to fill these imbalances the closer we get to the robotaxi event on Thursday. So we will see how things end up going. I first want to talk about some data before I break down more details about these charts. As a reminder, today is Monday, October 7th, 2024. Okay, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 3 and 6 month bill auctions coming out. Then we have Bowman, Kashkari, and Bostic all giving speeches throughout the day. That's pretty much it for data. Everything else is quite minor, so just look for that so far. Don't forget, Nvidia also has its AI summit, so the chip stocks are likely going to be doing well today, at least to start things off. And then going into tomorrow, we have Amazon's Prime Day and a couple of other things. And then it isn't until Wednesday when we get more serious data, such as the FOMC minutes, CPI, and PPI for Wednesday through Friday. All right, so for now, data is going to be very quiet, but things will become a lot more intense later on during the week. For now, we also just have very minor earnings. Earnings become more serious by Friday once we have JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and BlackRock. For more news, the market is once again starting off on a little bit of a slowish start so far, on a sluggish start, but we're going to be watching our key supporters are still holding up. We'll see how things end up going up. And then on top of this, we have Q3 earnings kicking off as we have PepsiCo, Delta Airlines, JP Morgan, and others all announcing their earnings. So get ready, guys. It's going to be very important. Besides that, there's not really anything else that's too crazy that's going on the news so far. There was some interesting news that came out for Tesla. Tesla's Model 3 performance has exceeded the EPA range estimates in the real world test. This is great news. So Edmunds has been doing a lot of tests. And one thing that's worth mentioning is the fact that on a post that came out earlier, when doing these tests, it turns out that the re-engineered Model 3 performance, it actually ended up exceeding the estimates, right? It managed to travel 307 miles in its real-world range test, which is above what the expectation is. It's listed at 303 miles. So it just goes to show that the Model 3 performance has exceeded that, which is great news. It just goes to show how efficient they could be. So that being said, there were other tests where Tesla tends to underperform, but in this case, Tesla did a lot better. So sometimes that could even happen, which is very, very awesome. It just goes to show how the Model 3 performance is doing very well as well. So great news as they've once again outperformed their EPA range. And I think it's very, very awesome to see that. It just goes to show how efficient this new model is. Anyways, that's all I'm really seeing in the news so far. That's very, very significant. So let's talk about what's happening with everything else. So right now we're looking at our 20 EMAs, our support right here at this 249.79 area. If Tesla loses that, we're looking for 247.5 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for 244. So make sure you watch those three supports very carefully. As long as we hold around this 250 area, so 249.79 to 250, if we hold around here, we could eventually rebound, start filling this imbalance, taking us up to about 257 a share. I think there's a very good chance we do attempt to get up there. I think we will try to fill this imbalance, but that depends if we can hold our 20 EMA or not. So I'll be watching that very, very carefully. So it is possible we start with a little bit of a dip, but as long as Tesla holds the support, I think we will eventually rebound the closer we get to the robotaxi event, start filling these imbalances. So I still hold that view. It might be a small dip coming first before it tries to rebound, but overall the share price is still doing well. For SPY, we have dipped a little bit, but we're holding our 20 EMA. We have our key support at 570.2. As long as we don't lose that, we are going to try to rebound and try to fill this gap, taking us back up to about 572.5. I think there will be an attempt to get back up there very close to the highs from Friday. We'll see if we can hold, because between 573 and 575 resistance is going to be very tough. Now, we also have support at 568. So if we lose 570.21, look at 568.5, followed by 565 as the main support zones. As long as we hold 570, we could try to rebound, try to fill the gap above in the 572s. There's a good chance we will try to rebound as long as we hold 570. So watch these levels very carefully. My gut tells me it might come down here, tip a little bit, then make an attempt to rebound later on. I think we still could try to retest these highs later on, but that's going to depend on other factors. So give it some time for that rebound as long as we hold support. For ES, we dipped a bit as well, but we're holding our 20 EMA. We have supports at 57.71 and 57.66. If we lose that, we're looking for a dip all the way down to about 57.50. As long as we hold this, we could attempt to rebound to this imbalance at 57.80. So my gut tells me that the 57.80 area is coming, then eventually we'll get closer to 5800. As long as we could hold 57.71, we could attempt to rebound and push up towards these resistance levels. So I'll be watching that very carefully. For Nvda, Nvidia is attempting to rebound right over here. If we dip, we're looking at 124 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for 122.24 and then 120.42. As long as we hold support, we could attempt to rebound. We're looking for basically 126 as our resistance. So there's a very, very good chance this will attempt to try to push higher. We also have a nice looking structure. We're making higher lows. So this may attempt to push for 126. There's a chance Nvidia will attempt to push just a bit more because we have the AI event very soon. For Bitcoin's dipping. Look for a little bit more downside on Bitcoin. I think that 62,500 is coming. And this imbalance down here to 62,000 flat could be tested if we lose that support. So look for some downside to either 62,500, if not the lower 62,000 area before it tries to rebound. I'll be watching to see how that ends up developing, but that's what I'm seeing for now. For NQ, we have support at 20,070. If we lose that, we're looking for a dip back down towards 19,900. As long as we hold 20,070, we should try to rebound back up to about 20,200. So we will see if we hold this support. I'll be watching that very carefully. As long as we hold 20,070, we should attempt to rebound to 20,200. If not, we dip. So watch that key support to see which way we go. Also, same thing with the QQQ. We're fighting to hold our 20 EMA. We have 484 as our support and also 482. So we'll be watching to see if 484 holds. If we hold this, we could rebound for 487. If not, if we lose this, we're looking for a bigger dip to 482 before we attempt to rebound. So watch to see how well we hold support. For Apple's currently dipping a little bit. We had some negative news that came out. We got a big downgrade on Apple, and this is what's dragging the market down a little bit. We have this big gap over here that has formed. So when we watch to see if we could hold 223. If not, we're looking for 222.37. And then that's where we have this gap all the way down here, followed by 220 flat. So look at 222 to see if that holds. Could dip a little bit more, and we'll see if we rebound to fill the gap above. So look for some downside and then an attempts to rebound because we still have some negative downgrades, so be very mindful of that. For the IWM Russell 2000, we'll see if 218 holds. If we hold 218, we're looking for a push back up to about 220. If 218 fails, it's risk of dipping closer to about this imbalance around the 216s, so be very mindful of that. We'll see if support holds. For a few more, we have Coinbase. Coinbase is dipping right now. We're looking for 169 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for like 166, but then we could attempt to rebound again if we reclaim 170. If we can't reclaim that, we're looking for a bigger dip down to about a 162. So look for a dip to at least, I would say, the 168 to 166 area. If we rebound and reclaim 170, we turn back up. If we can't reclaim it, we're going to likely be looking for a dip. So that's going to be very key for us. Amazon's dipping a little bit, but so far we're holding up in this range. If we hold 183, we're looking for a rebound for 185. If we lose 183, we could be tipping even lower, closer to 180. So watch support 183. For Meta, we're dipping a little bit, but I still see potential in this to try to get up closer to about 600. I think it's still looking pretty strong. Microsoft is still looking kind of bearish. We haven't been able to bounce off 414. So this does have risk right here at 414. If this fails us, we're looking for 409. It's still looking a little bit more bearish. Google's also kind of flat right now, but we'll see if we could hold 167 or not. If it holds, we could attempt to rebound. If not, we're going to likely be dipping. With that being said, guys, that is it for my analysis. So far, the market's holding up still decently, but we'll have to see if critical supports hold on SPY and the QQQ. Tesla's also trying to hold its support. If it does dip a bit, though, that's going to be a nice dip buying opportunity. We'll see about that. As of right now, we're holding support, so it's doing a good job. And technicals do still show me that it wants to push a little bit higher later on. So it might dip at first. Don't be surprised if Tesla dips a little bit, but then we'll see if it get bought back up. I still think that approaching the robotaxi event, we could get bought up quite nicely. With that being said, I thank you for listening. Have a great day. I'll see you guys very soon in a couple of hours, and peace out.